Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. It looks like we are at that time of year again. Geoff Keighley is back at it with his ever-growing in popularity Game Awards show that started back quite a few years now. It is pretty much the only major show in video games that is happening this year in 2020. We did not get E3. We did not get a lot of the other big conferences, conventions, and shows. We are getting the Game Awards, and for that, I guess I am kind of happy, honestly. I don't know about you guys, but I have missed those single days of just intensity for video games, and we are going to be getting that on December 10th. Not only are we getting the Game Awards, but we're getting Cyberpunk 2077 and Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, so truly a pretty big day for video games on December 10th. And speaking of Cyberpunk, if you want to win Cyberpunk, consider subscribing to this channel for a giveaway. But we're not here to talk about Cyberpunk, because that is not up for any of the categories for Game of the Year. That's for 2021. No, this is our pre-show for the Game Awards, and we're going to be just very lightly covering the nominees, but mostly I want to talk about the announcements. That's something that we've, like I said, missed this year. We haven't had those big blowout days of announcements, and Game Awards has pretty much been faithful in giving us some good announcements, including the Xbox Series X last year. So first, I'm going to lightly touch on these nominees, and then I'm going to go into my predictions based on what happened in 2018 and 2019 and 2017 a little bit as well. So, Game of the Year, the only thing that I really want to highlight, the nominees are Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Last of Us Part 2. The only game that I felt maybe got snubbed was Half-Life Alyx. I think a big reason why is because not a lot of people, including the influencers who have a say in this, have necessarily played Half-Life Alyx. It's not something that you just need a game console for. You need specifically a PC and specifically a VR headset. So that's kind of a bummer. Probably would have personally replaced that with Final Fantasy VII, but hey, you guys get to vote. I have voted on a few categories that I was comfortable with, and I would encourage you to do so as well. Hot take from me, but for Best Narrative, we have 13 Sentinels, Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Last of Us Part 2. Based on those choices, I would give Last of Us Part 2 Best Narrative. Hot take, you can watch my spoiler discussion on that game in my review if you want to know what side of the coin I land on there. And for Best Character, or Best Performance, I should say, I also would go with The Last of Us. I would go with Ashley Johnson as Ellie. I think that is just a fantastic performance, not to undermine any of the other performances, which are Laura Bailey as Abby from Last of Us Part 2. There is a Ghost of Tsushima nominee. I do not want to butcher the name. Logan Cunningham as Hades from Hades, and Miles Morales from Miles Morales Spider-Man. And those are really the really big games that I'd like to maybe highlight, except for Best VR AR. We have Dreams, Half-Life Alyx, Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. And of that list, I just want to highlight, this was a really, really good year for VR, I'd say. All those games are really good. This is like the strongest year for nominations in VR ever. Of course, I think we all know it's going to be winning that one. But that's the boring stuff. Let's talk about my predictions. Last year, Nintendo really disappointed us. I made a video about that. They basically gave us Bravely Default 2, which, that's a respectable game. No harm in that game. But when you look at years before, where we got Bayonetta 3, we got Joker revealed for Smash, that kind of begs the question, well, what's going on? And actually, there are a lot of questions that we are currently asking of Nintendo. By no means a popular holiday for them. Basically putting out remakes with the exception of Age of Calamity, and yeah, that's really all Nintendo has for this holiday. I mean, Game & Watches and 30-year-old Fire Emblem games and a Pikmin re-release can only take you so far. And there's already confirmed AAA games in development that we're just begging to know more about, including Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Prime 4, and more Smash DLC. I think of those three options, I would say Smash DLC is the most likely that we'll see the next character. Like I said, there's a history of that where we got Joker in 2018. Other than that, Zelda Breath of the Wild actually, before the game came out, showed up in pretty much every Game Awards since it has been announced. It showed up, I think, as early as 2014, but it was definitely there in 2015 and certainly there in 2016, even if just for a few brief seconds. So I think we could expect to see something big from Nintendo in terms of the possibility of seeing Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. At the very least, I think we'll see the next Smash character. So for Microsoft, the story is a little bit different. They had a stunning Game Awards 2019, including unveiling the Xbox Series X and Hellblade 2. Well, that console is out now, so we don't need to show any more about the hardware. We're all in on software now. And I think we all know what needs to be shown for 2020. They need to show Halo Infinite. They need to come in swinging with a banging Halo Infinite trailer, new and improved. They need to make that thing look nice and shiny, and they need to give it a release window, if not a release date. I think a nice Halo trailer could go a long way for Microsoft, could really drum up the hype. I mean, there's a huge American audience that watches this. Halo players are trending American. This would be the perfect time to do it, basically, to come back, say, hey, we've taken your feedback, it's been 6 months, these are our plans for Halo Infinite. That is my guess. I know they showed Hellblade 2 last year, but I think Halo is the more important game at the moment for Microsoft to show. That, or they are really going to be working on that game for a lot longer. Now on to Sony. Sony's big thing in 2019 was some Ghost of Tsushima stuff, and I think in 2020 they are going to want to continue pushing first-party software. Like I said, these consoles are out now. It's all about showing what exclusive games are coming to these consoles. What can you bring to these new machines? And I think that we're probably going to get Horizon Forbidden West information, possibly even a release date, almost certainly a release window if we do see Horizon Forbidden West. The reason I think we're getting Horizon Forbidden West instead of God of War 2 is because Horizon Forbidden West is also launching on the PS4, which kind of makes me think that this game is maybe a bit closer to done than God of War 2. Even the trailer that they showed for Forbidden West was much, much, much more robust than God of War 2. It was an engine, at least at times, where God of War, really, there wasn't much to see at all. And I think that combined with the fact that it's coming out on PS4 makes me think we might be getting Forbidden West footage with possibly like a summer 2021 release window or something like that. Those are my predictions. Those are my guesses. This is our Cohesive Friendship Game Awards pre-show. Of course, we will be doing our own Game of the Year later this year. We're waiting for a pesky little game that comes out on December 10th to come out before we actually make that list. So it's definitely going to be creeping much closer to January 1st than December 10th, but look forward to that. Let us know down below what you feel about the Game Awards, and I will catch you next time.